Hi everyone, welcome to the Robert Show. I'm with Jeff Baxter from NetApp. Super excited to be here. Today we will unpack how NetApp AI Data Engine moves data, tracks metadata, lineage, and versions for repeatable AI, adds AI-powered ransomware detection, and much more. But Jeff, it's your debut on the Robert Show. Super excited to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Thanks, Jeff. Jeff, just for our audience, would you like to quickly introduce yourself? Tell us more about what you do at NetApp.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Jeff Baxter. I've been with NetApp for a pretty short amount of time, I think 18 years, something like that.
Wow.
So I know, right? And I think in Silicon Valley dog years, that's makes me over 100, right? Something like that. But yeah, so I've been in NetApp for a long time. I actually started NetApp in our public sector business as a systems engineer, and before that, I was a Unix admin and all sorts of other fun things back in the day. Then I ended up running product management for ONTAP, which is our leading data management
Yep.
software. And then over the last couple of years, I got asked to run our product marketing team. And so I lead a great group of product marketing experts who help sort of bridge all the amazing technology that our product team is building with you, the world, everyone else, and kind of explain all the cool innovation we're building in the AI space and beyond. So that's me in a nutshell.
Super excited. And thanks for sharing about the background, about how you all are leading teams and how NetApp is making a difference. So I'm just going to jump right in. What do you think? Because you talk to a lot of businesses as well, you talk to a lot of enterprise leaders. What is the most significant, business challenge the NetApp data platform solves for customers, and how will it help them accelerate their journey from data to innovation? Because that is something I've been asked a lot of times by the
Yeah,
enterprise leaders as well, Robert. What do you think? So I'm kind
yeah,
of curious to hear from a NetApp data platform perspective.
yeah. I think when we talk to customers, I always like to talk. There's the one big fear and there's the one big opportunity, right? And the one big fear
Yep.
is obviously cybersecurity, and the one big opportunity is AI.
Mm,
Sometimes we joke that it's AI is also a fear of missing out, right, or fear of doing it wrong,
true.
right? So it can be either way. But so fundamentally, I mean, what I like is NetApp is a very focused company, right? We're focused on helping customers build out intelligent data infrastructure, and what that means is all we're trying to do is figure out how can we solve those two key problems when it comes to the data infrastructure layer. And so with the NetApp data platform, really our goal at the end of the day is to provide secure AI ready data.
Mm,
You see, I think every analyst firm out there has put out a study about why AI projects fail or why they fail to launch or something, right? There was one
so true.
there was one from a leading analyst firm that said, in the next year, 60% of AI projects will be abandoned. And they said specifically due to lack of AI ready data. So
Mm,
there's plenty of reasons why AI projects may fail to succeed, all the way from politics to funding to whatever. But one of the leading causes that we constantly hear is, even if you get the GPUs there, even if you pick out the model, even if you have the brilliant data scientists, unless they
hmm.
have AI ready data, it's like having the best car on the world, but no gas in it or nowhere to plug it in. If it's an EV, right, then who cares? It's an expensive hood ornament. And that's really what we're looking to try and do is help with the NetApp data platform to unify all of your data across on-prem, across all of the major clouds, and get it into a state where it can instantly be used to power your AI initiatives.
That is so true. And, that is one thing that I hear a lot from, again, the enterprise leaders, the other community members, and those who are adopting AI as well, that if you're not focused on the data quality, the rest is a big question mark. So
Yeah.
you can't go anywhere without having the right data ready for AI. Talking about data ready for AI and, AI itself, how does NetApp AI Data Engine orchestrate data movement from managing key aspects of the AI lifecycle, such as metadata, data lineage, and versioning, to ensure data scientists can work with reproducibility easily,
Yeah.
and how does it make their job easier? Kind of curious to know a little bit about that, Jeff.
Yeah, so NetApp AI Data Engine is something newer that we're doing, where the idea is, just as we've built out, leading unified storage systems on-prem and in cloud for sort of the storage engineer, we want to really focus on sort of the data engineer. And so the way I put it is, if you're a pure data scientist, we probably have some interesting things for you, but the reality is you're going to be working with the tools, right? You're going to be working with the models, you're going to be doing all that other stuff. You just want the data to be ready for you. So what we're trying to do is build tools for those data engineers. And we know that a lot of people are going to be, especially a lot of people are going to end up being their own storage admin, their own data engineer, and their own data scientist, right? But in
Right.
larger shops where those roles are actually sort of separated, the data engineers really are, how can I get to a point where I have all my embeddings done, I have my vector database ready, and I can tell my data scientists that I have a curated data set ready for you, where all the
Right.
guardrails are in place, where everything's already been embedded. And by the way, it's kept constantly up to date, and I can constantly checkpoint it, so you can always go back at a point in time and say, what data was this model trained on to achieve the result that we're getting, right? So from a traceability standpoint, you mentioned that, right? Being able to say, okay, my model just output really something unexpected. I want to go back and look what the data set was like 42 days ago when this model was trained, and see what the heck inputs it was getting that suddenly made it go off in this particular hallucination or this particular tangent, or in the worst cases, providing biased or derogatory sort of information. Like, how did that sort of get into the model? So that's and I won't go too deep, but the AI Data Engine, fundamentally, we're able to take all of your data across your entire NetApp data estate, instantaneously catalog it, keep it up to date, pass it through semantic search, whatever sort of data curation you want to do, apply whatever data guardrails you want on top of it to ensure that you have only the compliant data that you want, and then embed it into a vector database that lives directly within our storage environment. So it's a complete solution in a box for data engineers to be able to, at the end of the day, produce what data scientists actually want, which is an updated, curated source of AI-ready data.
Love it. Fantastic insights there, Jeff. Also, when one thing that I hear a lot is obviously data quality. The next thing that I start hearing is, oh, data governance, data security, data. How do we detect all the ransomware? So,
Yeah.
in today's landscape, how do you see AI powered ransomware detection and other NetApp security differentiators that you give to customers, not only just truly lean into the AI initiatives, but also to make sure they succeed?
Yeah.
What's the thought process there, Jeff?
Yeah. So one of the things, we pride ourselves with, we talk about the NetApp data platform as being the enterprise grade data platform for AI. And the
Yep.
reason, the whole idea behind being enterprise grade, there's a couple different reasons for that. Obviously, NetApp has been around for 3 decades, right? So there's a lot of resilience built into it, and that's just at the baseline.
True.
But from a security point of view, we built it all based on zero trust principles. We actually go out with the marketing tagline of the most secure storage on the planet. Go around with T-shirts that say it, which is a pretty bold claim. And I'm constantly amazed at the fact that my legal team lets me make it. But the reason for it is because it's been continually validated by agency after agency, different government certifications, so on and so
True.
forth, where we're just unmatched in any of those sort of capabilities. So we start with that sort of baseline. And then more recently, we built newer and newer capabilities on it. So one of the ones you mentioned, right, is building AI-powered ransomware detection directly into the system, where we'll now do that on both structured and unstructured data. So in basically near real time, built into the storage system without having to send it out to any place external to scan it, or on the wire or anything like that, we will detect ransomware attacks in near real time. We'll do it when it's hit a couple % of your data, as opposed to encrypting all of your data, and be able to instantaneously take a snapshot at that point in time to protect all the remnants of the data and alert your security team through all of your standard tools, so they can go
Yep.
ahead and respond in real time. And it's all part of a defense in depth. Are you going to have other ransomware protection? God, I hope so. But we are really the last line of defense. If they've gone past all of that, if they've gotten impersonated credentials, most of the time when they're doing those attacks, they're not doing some sort of weird 0-day attack down at that layer. They've just managed to steal administrator credentials, and they're authorized to do what they're doing,
Yep.
right? And
True.
so we're the ones that can detect it, and if not completely stop it, protect your data so that you have the best possible RTO and RPO to recover from it. And that's really what we built into the system. And then we have a
Yep.
couple other new innovations coming that I'm glad to tell you about, but I know I've been rambling for a second here. So
Yeah, no, I love it. This is fantastic, Jeff, and thanks for sharing these in detail. Very helpful for the audience out there. I'm kind of also wanting to learn a little bit about, the data platform. Obviously, works across not only on-prem but also on all the major clouds. So, how does this unified approach empower companies with the flexibility they need to innovate with AI? But also, what benefits will they see in, the hybrid cloud strategy? So this is something which, again, a lot of leaders kind of
yeah.
want to make sure that, oh, if we have cloud, what's the story? If we are on-prem, what's the story? What are
Yeah.
your thoughts?
Yeah. So we really think that, the enemy of trying to simplify an environment, of trying to be efficient, of trying to be secure is complexity, right? Is creating
Hmm.
multiple
100%.
silos for your data. It goes into, having your data AI ready. It goes into being able to have the same security standards. And so what our approach with the NetApp data platform is to be able to have the same unifying operating system underneath all of your data. And we do that both
Okay.
on-prem and we do that across the 3 largest clouds in the world, to the point where ONTAP, that operating system, is so well known in that community, is so well respected that it's actually been OEM'd by all 3 of those clouds, by AWS, Azure, and Google. So it's not just about being in their marketplace, because I'll be quite honest, just about every data storage company out there has an offering in, the AWS marketplace. If you don't, it's almost like sales malfeasance, right? You have to have an
Yep.
offering there, but typically it's just running your storage inside a VM on their platform, and that can work. But what we actually have done is AWS has, for example, licensed our technology, and they now build it as their own service, AWS FSx for NetApp ONTAP. Uh,
Okay, nice.
Azure actually kicked this off 5 years ago with Azure NetApp Files, and the most recent one was Google doing Google Cloud NetApp Volumes. So in each case, they've actually taken the code, they actually run it in their environment. They're responsible for keeping it up to date with all of their security standards. So
Mm-hmm.
it matches all of their security and compliance. It's managed all through their interfaces, through their APIs. But on the back end, it's all the same consistent API so that we can connect it into a unified data platform. So that lets us do some very cool things for businesses. For one thing, all of our
Nice.
systems have integrated tiering. They have integrated caching. You can move cold data to other clouds. You can stretch workloads. You can instantly migrate workloads. I mean, I shouldn't say instantly, right? Bandwidth is bandwidth, but you can easily migrate workloads from cloud to cloud.
Yep.
My favorite thing that we've been showing off to people is, integrated caching built into all of them. So you don't need to have a separate caching appliance. You don't need to build a separate, global file system to put on top of it. It's literally built in. So we have a great demo that we've been showing recently where it's like you have a single folder, right? And imagine if you could have the same directory in AWS, Google, Azure, and your on-prem system. And no matter where you put a file, within a second, it appeared in every other location. And the ACLs were intact. All the
Mm-hmm.
security parameters were intact. All the metadata was intact. And even if it was a multi-terabyte file, it appeared there instantaneously. And we only actually read the bytes over if someone actually accessed it, right? So you can curate and you can build a data set that spans all of your entire data estate. You can have complete global data visibility, but you're only actually moving data when you need to it to
Mm-hmm.
avoid any sort of egress charges, to deal with the fact that the speed of light is the speed of light, right? And that's what the benefit is of the NetApp data platform, and truly being native across all these different clouds, as well as having this really awesome, all flash presence still in the data center, because it's not like everything has gone to the cloud either. And that allows us to be really, truly agnostic about where you put your data, but provide these data services across all of it.
Love it. I think, Jeff, you've mentioned some very interesting points in terms of why the unified approach, and also you're on all the major clouds out there. So that kind of makes it easy for the enterprises to be where they are, and they can still access everything that they need. Quick question for you. I know you all produce a lot of content and a lot of resources for the enterprise leaders out there. If they have to access those, where can they reach out if they want to connect with you, the team? Which is the best place? LinkedIn, X, where can they do that?
Just about any of it, right? LinkedIn is great. You can always follow the NetApp channel there and access all the NetApp resources.
Nice.
Please, feel free to visit us at netapp.com, obviously, for all the resources. We have, as you're showing here, right, our large conference going on, NetApp Insight, and
Yes.
all the material for NetApp Insight will be available on netapp.com, so people should definitely check it out.
Amazing. First of all, Jeff, thanks for taking the time out and visiting the Robert Show. Such a pleasure chatting with you. We'll keep the conversation going. We'll share more about NetApp, and I'll also make sure to share some links with our audience so they can go learn, maybe take demos, and also get more in-depth understanding about the NetApp data platform and the NetApp AI Data Engine as well.
Great. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thanks.